Welcome to the winning bid, automating the RFP process. Welcome to the winning bid, podcast episode 4. And today's topic is the winning bid. And to that extent, I have with me a guest, Louis Servet. Hello, Louis. Could you introduce yourself and tell me about your role as a BDR at the company SEQUESTO and what does it involve?
Hello, Eric. Absolutely. Thanks for having me. So the role that I'm occupying at SEQUESTO is business development representative. I'm actually the first one in the company, and I'm covering basically the whole of Europe with a dedicated focus on prospecting in France and English-speaking regions, so the UK, and also southern part of Belgium and Switzerland. So
Right.
it's really interesting because my goal is to book more meetings as I'm growing in the company, but I'm also in need to qualify the leads and follow up with them, make sure that their data is correctly put in the CRM. So I'm also doing not only prospection, but also some account management. And as we are in a small startup, sometimes I'm helping in the marketing planning.
Right. You have to be versatile, obviously. Yes.
Absolutely.
So could you explain SEQUESTO to a 7-year-old?
Yes. Imagine you're at school, your teacher gives you some homework. Maybe you have some pages with some questions about the text you had to read. Maybe you have some calculation from your math teacher that you have to make. And sometimes the questions you have or the math you have is quite repetitive. It's because your teacher wants to be sure that you have acquired the right knowledge. But when it comes to answering questions when you're an adult, you have some RFPs, and they also may have some form of repetitiveness in the question. Some things you've seen in the past, but you have to transform a little bit. And that's why SEQUESTO is a platform that will take all your knowledge and bring back the right answer that you may be
Right.
interested in,
Yeah.
just in a slight different way for the question you have today.
Okay. Although I think you answered it for a 9-year-old, but close enough. What are the key selling points of SEQUESTO's platform that you usually emphasize during your sales conversations?
Usually, when you're answering a bid, it requires things like reading a lot of documentation from the customer, also searching for information to formulate the right answer. And then also it requires the writing itself. All of this can take a lot of time. And so with SEQUESTO, we try to reduce the amount of time spent on all these tasks to bring better quality in the answers, but also improve the win rates. So those are really the key.
Understood. Mm-hmm. And can you share some of the common challenges or maybe objections that you usually face in sales? And how would you address them with the features that SEQUESTO offers?
Usually the one that I hear the most is that RFP response can be very different from a request to another, because the questions people have are very technical and very specific. That's the whole purpose for us to try and see if there are some gaps we can fill in their processes, if we can intervene in finding a way where usually most of the answers tender managers will provide will be text. And shall they start from scratch? In most cases, they won't. They will use their previous knowledge, or they will also use what's in their database. So SEQUESTO has really the capability for searching the right piece of text in their knowledge base, or the right question and answer pair in their database that can be the best candidate for an answer to a question.
Now, in the previous episode of this podcast, we spoke about data and AI, though specifically in this context. How would you describe that AI technology or AI-driven technology is appealing to your prospects and your clients?
AI is really a key topic in the world, in the technology development at the moment, right? And it's also the case when we speak about our AI capabilities to our prospects. I can see a little light bulb going on in their eyes, like they're thinking, okay, they're also interested in AI, and they're also investing in a lot of time and research into it. And that's true. We are trying to dedicate a lot of time on the topic. And what's really interesting is that AI usually does not work when it's not trained. But we have installed pre-trained models in our platform so that when the customers start on day one using our platform, they will immediately see some results while using
Right.
SEQUESTO.
Now, the market that you are serving is multinational. There are companies in other countries and they use different languages. So, how does the one click translation function in Sequestor's platform resonate with international clients?
We started our company in Belgium, a very international country, so to speak. We have lots of people speaking French, Dutch, German, but also English in business. And so our first customers here in Belgium were already dealing with different languages. And when they saw the capability of having all European languages translated in just one click, they absolutely loved it. And so when I have some conversations with customers and prospects, it's always one feature that comes as
Right.
really essential. Yeah,
Hmm. Great. I believe that the previous way of working was maybe a deal breaker for many people working in silos, language silos. And this is something
absolutely.
you break through, right?
Exactly.
Mm.
Alongside with the tagging capabilities,
Mm-hmm.
where you can subdivide per region or per business unit, it can really help companies to provide the best answers in
Understood.
RFPs.
Um, how has selling Sequestor's platform changed the way that you approach the sale process? Have you done something new? Have you learned something new?
Indeed, there's been quite a lot of personal growth on my end, I would say, because I really saw that we needed in the beginning to define which market to tackle or which persona would be interested in our products. And so we did a lot of A B testing in the beginning, and that really helped me in learning on how to be a better seller and how to make sure that our sales processing is going in the right direction.
Okay. How do you see the role of AI in the future of sales, particularly in the context of tender answering and RFP response processes?
I'm very active on LinkedIn for my work, and I see that many people are investing in AI. Not only us, but for sellers, we see that AI can now create some very precise emails to dedicated personas and make also some immediate follow up emails that can be very convenient as a seller. So for tender and bid managers, it's really convenient because AI is a real assistant that will search in their knowledge base and bring in the right answers that they need.
Okay. Can you share some feedback that you've received from clients about Sequestos platform, even from some of your colleagues who are dealing with customers directly?
Absolutely. My colleagues are telling me that the customers are usually very happy with the ongoing partnership.
Hmm.
We try to have a customer base that is active in the development of our platform. We have weekly meetings with our customers where they exchange new ideas, and based on that feedback, we influence the product roadmap with the features that they want the most. So that's really one topic that customers
Only
are really happy because when after a few weeks, when they have an idea that comes up, they also have the results a few weeks after.
That's
because the
important. It's also the roadmap is not just determined by you or by company, but by customer feedback. Right?
Exactly.
Okay. What's next for SEQUESTO from a sales perspective? Are there any upcoming features or services that you think will be game changers in the sales process?
Yes, for us, it's going to be a conversational intelligence tool because, as a startup, we are implementing new tools to develop ourselves. I've had, for example, the implementation of the CRM and also some sales engagement tools. And now we're thinking of conversational intelligence to better keep track of our conversations with customers, especially in a period like the summer. We sometimes have some people off. And if, for example, my boss is away and is returning and needs to do a pricing demo, then he needs to keep track of all the details from the previous conversations. So we want to make sure our customers are happy, and we also want to make sure that everything that they said can be traced back.
Now, in the previous episode, Evra told us a bit about the user friendliness of the interface, how much attention's been paid to making that better, make that optimal. So, how do you handle questions about that from your prospects? Because I'm sure they will ask about learning, the learning curve of using the platform, the onboarding process. So, to what extent can you reassure them that this is actually going to be quite fast?
To be completely transparent here, I'm really happy that you're asking this question because when I'm meeting with customers, they are always impressed by user friendliness of the platform. In the first time they see it, they're like, okay, this is really something that I can see myself using. And when we onboard them, it only takes 3 to 4 hours for a regular user. And then for an admin, it just takes the double time, so 1 day. And after that, they can use the platform, and usually they don't need any more assistance. So
Right. I believe that all the efforts have been made to make it very self-explanatory.
Exactly.
Correct. Okay. How does SEQUESTO's platform handle the co-authoring and collaboration of documents?
It's really made also, once again, convenient for the user because we have just in one click the possibility to assign the questions or the tasks to certain individuals. Certain tender or bid managers have to answer certain questions, but maybe a subject matter expert has something else to answer. And if there's also someone new in the team, there can be a reviewer that will verify if he's happy with the answer provided by the new joiner. And then we also provide an overview dashboard where the admin can see the progression on each project from each individual. And if there's someone lagging behind, we can set up some automatic reminders via email. And so there's a lot less pressure on the team.
Right. Okay. It's a very, very supporting for collaboration. Right.
That's the whole purpose, indeed.
Yeah. Have you received any feedback from potential customers on the competitive environment? I know it's pretty unique, but still there might be some at least partially overlapping solutions in the market. Can you share any feedback that you might have received in this respect?
We have certain capabilities that are similar to our competitors, of course, but where we try to differentiate ourselves is in the detection of section or even the detection of paragraphs within certain sections of a document. That really facilitates the search when you have huge documents, maybe 100 pages made by a company, and you have to find a very specific paragraph to formulate your answer. That's one difference. The other is usually all the attachments can be easily also found and be joined to a specific question. So when you create your proposal, each attachment is clearly seen in the proposal.
Okay, I understand. So on the one hand, it's the granularity of the information, which can be very fine. And secondly, you have a very detailed handling of attachments. So, what do you wish to accomplish in the next year at SEQUESTO?
That's a good question. I really like working here. It's a great experience and a great challenge, but we need to have more customers, and that's why I'm here for. And I really want to have a good rhythm of new customers coming in. And ultimately, we would love to have another funding round
Right.
to really have a flourishing company.
So, spread the word more and grow the company, right,
Exactly.
to the next level. What is the biggest challenge you're facing in your role now as it is, and how are you tackling that?
I would say that, time is currently our enemy, and we would love to have as many customers as possible, but um, sales cycles can be quite long. A lot of sellers are saying that it's now more and more difficult to sign customers in a short period of time, and we're also seeing that. So I wish we could have shorter sales cycles, because I have very interesting conversations with prospects, but sometimes they're also involving other stakeholders within their companies. And as there are more and more stakeholders involved, it can take a longer time to get the deal signed.
Mm-hmm. And where can people find you online, Louis?
You can follow me on LinkedIn, Louis Selvet, and also follow SEQUESTO.
All right. Thank you very much for this conversation. It was very interesting.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for joining us on The Winning Bid, Mastering the RFP Process.